Hello everyone, this is Wrath, and today we're going to be doing a requested video covering the walkthrough of Act 5, Chapter 1, Map 6. So the big global debuff on this map is going to be the opponents are going to cause you to degenerate if you don't hit them every 6 seconds. And this is brute force. So you're going to have to time your attacks well and your super usage as well to make sure that you're able to get a hit in every 6 seconds. However, it is not the end of the world if you start to degenerate a little bit. So don't freak out, don't change your playstyle, just make sure you're keeping steady, so that way you can cause the damage over time you need and get those hits in. So as you'll see, up in the upper left is your timer, and so it starts to tick down after every single hit you stop attacking the opponent, and then it resets every time you hit them. So for this Ironman, the big thing is just to bait his first and second super. If you want to bait his first super or second super, just get far away from him, because in general this AI is going to just shoot his super like that. Then you're just going to dodge backwards, and it's going to be pretty easy to get back in and cause some damage. I'm going to be using primarily bleeders in this one, as their strategy isn't really specific to them. So any of the moves you see me doing, you can use with any champion. The bleeders are effective for basically getting a lot of damage in quickly, and then basically causing a lot of damage without a lot of hits, so you can get through these fights a little faster. Additionally, I would recommend if you're doing bleeders, have Despair, have Assassination, and have Deep Wounds, because that's going to cause it to have a lot bigger impact. And as you see here, Despair just basically turned off Iron Man's regeneration, so you don't even need heal block for this. But as you saw there was a time when I started to degenerate, but you just basically do your normal strategy, get that attack in, and that makes you not degenerate, and you don't lose that much health overall. Okay, so for the first one that's noted up is going to be Quake here. And so Quake is going to be trying to stun you. And so what you're going to try to avoid here is having her use her heavy attack, because any use of the heavy attack, even if you dodge back, is going to cause you to take some damage from basically her aftershocks. So really focus on your parry timing, because if you miss that parry timing and she uses a heavy attack, you're going to take damage. So in this fight, you're basically just going to see me doing constant stunning of her and then counterattacking. Use your super to try to push her to her second super, as her second super is easier to dodge, but both of them are dodgeable. So for the first one, as you saw there, you're just going to dodge backwards a little bit after she activates to dodge her wave. For the second one you see here, just dodge back twice to make sure you're out of range, and then you're good as well, and just go back in to attack her afterwards. Again, as long as you do this parry strategy, dodge back and attack, that timer is really not going to impact you that much. Just make sure, though, that you leave a little bit of time to allow for her to come in and try to attack you, and then you hit her back if you can't get that last attack in, because basically you want to have a little bit of her super energy left before her third, so that way you can come in and attack her if you need to, if you're not able to basically bait her super. So here, Daredevil, again, big thing, he evades off of projectiles, so just don't use someone that uses projectiles. I'm using X23 here, another bleeder. So again, the strategy is exactly the same. It's going to be parrying, counterattacking, parrying, counterattack. So as soon as you finish your attack, just basically go ahead and block, and the parry normally will hit then, because the AI is just going to attack you right afterwards. Daredevil's first and second super are dodgeable, so bait either one. Just make sure, though, that you're not pushing him to the third super too quickly, because you need time in order to deal some damage while you try to bait. So you see here, I'm trying to bait his second super, but he's just not doing it. So then I hit him one time, dodge back again, he's not doing it. So I'm going to parry him again right here, and then I'm going to get a little damage in, and then I'm going to try to bait him again. So don't push too far too quickly, because you want to be able to have some time to bait, and that way you can parry, do a little damage with a single hit, and then back off, because you want to make sure that you're not pushing in the third super and also degenerating. So again, go slowly, don't worry too much about it. That's why I like X23, because you can take that chip damage and then regenerate it back. Alright. Now the next fight here is going to be Doctor Strange. Big thing to know about Doctor Strange is that he regenerates, he gets his power over time, so really try to deal that damage quickly. Don't worry about giving him power by attacking. So you start to go high damage outputs like X23, Black Panther, Star-Lord, anything that's a high damage output, and just really start pounding that in. And then just make sure then that you still are paying attention to that timer, because you want to make sure that you're giving a little bit of time so that way you can get back in there before you start to degenerate. His first super is definitely dodgeable. Basically, you're just going to dodge back twice, dodge back for his first little attack, and then dodge a projectile. His second super is a lot harder to dodge correctly. So I would highly recommend that you try to bait out that first super each time. And then again, just put in that damage quickly, because again, you're not giving him power when you attack him. So it doesn't matter how often you hit him. So again, same strategy as before. You're just going to parry him, attack him, bait his first super, parry, attack, bait his first super. And again, you just saw, I degenerated a little bit, but the amount of degeneration you get for a few seconds while you're waiting to get your attack in is nothing to worry about. So really don't change up your strategy if you're about to run out of time. Just take the degeneration and don't change. The next one's going to be Wimpool. She is, again, both supers are dodgeable, so first and second are dodgeable. The first one's basically a spin attack and then a shot, so you have to make sure you dodge both components. The second one is she kicks a grenade at you. You basically have to make sure you dodge the grenade at the end. So again, same exact strategy as before. It's going to be parrying, attacking, baiting first or second super. Just making sure, again, that you're not pushing too far too fast, so that way you can have a little bit of room to attack before she gets her third super, if you're not able to bait. So here again, she has that sword slash and then the gunshot, so make sure you dodge back both times to make sure you don't get hit by the melee and then by the projectile. So right here again, dodge back twice, go back in and attack. I like to keep my supers sometimes, so that if you're having problems with timing in terms of getting that damage in and you're attacking a shield, one thing you can do, which I'm not doing here, you can save your super energy to your third super, and then use it when you're in real trouble and you're not able to get hit in, because then the third super will guarantee you a hit and reset that timer. So if you're having problems with getting the hits in, just make sure you're saving to the third super, so that way you can use it as basically a lifeline. Alright, so now we're going to take this teleporter over, and now we're going to be fighting, I would say, the hardest person on this path, which is going to be Mordo. So because Mordo is going to be gaining power a lot during this fight, your best bet is to use a power drainer. So I'm using Vision here, but again, you could use anything. You could use Dr. Voodoo, you could use any other power controller, but I do like Vision here. You don't need to have a power controller. We'll show you the strategies for Mordo. So first off, you cannot parry him. So don't parry him because he will basically stun you back. Unless you have particular champions that basically kind of avoid that problem. So again, what you're going to do is you're going to only block before the parry timing and let him finish his combo. So he'll either finish his combo with a heavy attack, which is where he charges his hands and then thrusts them forward, or he's going to end his combo with basically a normal combo hit. After each of those, you can come back in and punch him. So one thing you'll notice in the upper right is that he has power gain on a cycle. When he has power gain right here, you can attack him with a heavy to get through his shield. The AI, for some reason with Mordo, when he gets his power gain, turns very passive, and you normally can punch through. So right here, I'm just going to use a heavy attack to punch through, because the likelihood that he's going to attack me is very low. He may do it, so you may get hit by that, but it's a very, very low chance. So again, right here, power gain, stuck in a corner, use your heavy to break through it. The other thing to note is that if you do accidentally parry Mordo and give him a stun, you're fine, just don't attack him. The only time he astral evades to stun you is if you stun him and then attack him while he's stunned. So just back off, let it reset, and then just correct your mistake. So again, keep punching him, keep trying to get through that. Now remember also that what you can do here is you can use your power drain to make sure he doesn't get his third super. And on top of that, you also want to make sure that you're dodging his first super, which is a beam, and his second super, which is where he thrusts forward and then tries to hit you afterwards. So make sure you're doing that. You just saw there what the heavy looks like. So that's the main strategies for Mordo. Just keep those in mind. It really doesn't change much in terms of having that degeneration on there. Alright, so now the next one's going to be Magneto. So Magneto here is going to have a problem against anyone that's magnetic. So do not use X-23, do not use anyone that can be magnetized, as it's going to make your parrying have a lot less effectiveness. So I just chose Black Panther because he can't be magnetized. On this node, his second super is unblockable. So again, I would highly suggest that you bait the first super. The second super is completely dodgeable, but again, its timing is a lot harder, and if you make a mistake, it's very damaging. So again, attack, parry, counterattack. Use your supers to get an extra damage and to basically just get in some more damage. It doesn't really matter for the timer for the supers, especially for someone like Black Panther. If you have a power controller, that would be fine as well, like Magic. Again, try to bait out that first super. As you see here, I do a little bit of damage to try to bait out that first super, and then I give him a little bit more damage when my timer's up, and then back off again. And then eventually you try to basically pull out and bait that first super, which I did here. His first super is he basically builds a ball of metal and throws it at you. So basically you're going to do a dodge back twice strategy. Dodge back to dodge the melee, and then dodge back again to dodge that projectile. The projectile goes a lot slower than you think. So here's dodging a second. You can totally do it, but the timing is a little bit different. You have to wait till after the activation, then dodge back with the wave. And the dodge back matters where you are in terms of him, because if you're further away, it takes longer for the wave to get to you. So again, both of his supers have a slow travel time, so you're going to be very careful with how to dodge on Magneto. So right here, you have to wait a little bit before dodging backwards. So again, not extremely tough, just keep going, keep doing those attacks, and don't worry about the degeneration, because the degen's not enough to worry about. Alright, so here I kind of use the cheese strategy on Groot. Groot has a lot of buffs on him, so you can easily kill him if you have either Dr. Voodoo or you have Magic. Magic, you save up to your third super. When he has all those buffs on him, you pop the third super, and he'll basically die immediately. For Dr. Voodoo, you do the exact same thing, but instead you're turning them into poison counters. So again, attack, basically stun him, attack, and then for Dr. Voodoo, you just drop that first super, convert a lot of his buffs into poisons, and then just do it over and over again. On top of that, on this node, Groot has increased regeneration, and in general, Groot's second super is a lot harder to deal with, as he's going to regenerate off of it and it's harder to dodge. So I would highly recommend, again, that you bait the first super on Groot. So basically, if you're trying to bait, again, you're going to attack him, you're going to dash backwards to try to get him to activate it. They're also much more likely to activate after you've knocked them over with a super, so just dodge back afterwards. You're also likely to activate their super if you attack their guard and then immediately dodge backwards. Alright, so that was Groot. So now we're going to be moving on to the next champion. And so this next champion is a mystery one, but surprise, it's a Cable. So do not use anybody that bleeds. So Cable's big thing is that if you bleed him, you will degen. So don't pick X-23, don't pick Black Panther. For this one, I chose Vision. You can really use anyone, but again, a power controller for Cable is a little bit better because he does have power gain. But you can dodge his second super. You can dodge his first super, but it's a very difficult dodge. So I would, again, just take the first super on your shield. I would not recommend dodging this one unless you're comfortable with it. Again, also, the thing that Vision has is heal block, which is great for Cable as well as he regenerates. So if you are using Vision, just try to get to your second super so you can drain off all this power as well as heal block him. And then one strategy you can do in general is if you knock down an opponent with a super, and they don't have a bar of super energy, then you normally can attack right away, and you're either going to hit their shield, or you're going to hit them and get another full combo in. So you'll see it right here. Do your super, dash in, and then sometimes you're going to get a hit in, otherwise you'll hit the guard. Either way, it's fine. But that only works if they don't have a super. Because as we mentioned before, it's very likely that after you hit somebody with a super, the AI will activate the super. So just make sure that they don't have any super energy in terms of a full bar or second bar before you dash in after an attack. Okay, so basically, attack. Again, if you're noticing, the degen really doesn't even play a part here. You're going to be taking more damage through chip damage to the shield. So as long as you're not sitting back degenning for a long period of time, you're not going to have a problem with these nodes. Alright, so now we're going to go into Archangel. Again, nothing super special with him. His first and second super are dodgeable. They're a little bit weird in the timing, so just make sure that if you're not comfortable with it, just guard it. But big thing is if you don't get hit, his poison and his bleeds aren't going to affect you. So you can really choose any champion. I chose someone that's going to bleed again, so X-23. And we'll show you how to deal with him, which basically, again, parry strategy, attack strategy. His heavy is basically going to spin around in a circle with his wings, and so you're going to dash in after when he does the wing attack. His first super, he shoots feathers at you, but he shoots 2 of them, so you have to be very careful with that. So right here, this is the second super. He basically just spins around in circles, and then you can dodge in after that last spin. So definitely watch that for the last one. And this one right here, so he has those 2 that come off first, and then he has the second attack, which is at the very end, and that's the one that catches people a lot. So make sure that after he throws the first 2 feathers, there's a second set of feather that comes off at the very end that you have to make sure you dodge or at least guard. So again, not super difficult. You're basically just going to be doing the same thing again, which is going to be parrying, attacking, ignoring the degen for the most part, and then just beating him up. I hope this video was helpful. Please like and subscribe and let me know what other videos you would like to see. I would suggest that after you watch this video one time, when you're ready to go through this map, play this video again as you go through each of these nodes and basically watch the fight before you get there. That way it can help you out when you finally get to that node. Hope this was helpful again.